YouTubers just want to kind of hit on some grounding and electrical panels. For obvious reasons, you should have an electrical contractor perform, any type of electrical work, in your house. At least at a bare minimum, I'd say a journeyman electrician that's qualified to do the work, somebody that knows what they're doing, depending on, your local laws and jurisdictions, where you live. Anyway, when you come into the heart of your system, as I like to call it, your main panel, is where all your neutrals and grounds tie together. And a lot of people mess this up where they leave out of that main panel and they go to a sub panel and they take all the neutrals and grounds and tie them together. Recently actually talked to a guy who was actually licensed to work on mobile homes. And where I reside here, they kind of frown upon electrical contractors or contractors of any kind to work on mobile homes, modular homes, whatever they're calling them these days. Contractors aren't even technically allowed to work on them. You have to have a special license to work on, mobile homes. And, I've seen some hokey things in these mobile homes and often wonder why they don't, have to be wired the way a regular house needs to be wired. So, whatever the reason. But they were taught, I guess, in this class to take all the neutrals and grounds together for, who knows how many years. And recently it changed that. Well, that type of thing kind of needs to be investigated. Usually you have a meter main out on a private pole or some kind of main breaker or something outside where your meter main is, where your meter is. And that would be your, main panel. So I guess what they were doing is taking all the neutrals and grounds inside the panel, inside the house, which has all your breakers for your house, and tying all the neutrals and grounds together in there. Big no-no. All your neutrals and grounds should be tied together outside in that main panel, wherever it's coming from the power company, so you can develop a ground basically. You're going to have a U for ground in a stick-built house in your slab or your foundation, if that was installed, before concrete was poured. Or you'll have your typical ground rod that's 10 foot long that's, driven into the ground. And, that'll attach to the metal of your panel. And all your neutrals should not touch the frame of your panel. They should all tie together, but directly to the neutral feed coming from the transformer from the power company. Once it leaves the heart of that system, as I like to call it, you're going to a sub panel and feeding it with a breaker. You should never tie those neutrals and grounds together once again. Once it leaves the heart of the system, your neutrals and grounds should never touch one another ever again in pretty much a residential situation. It does happen in the commercial industry when we're, going, say, from a 12208 to, 277 480, we're stepping up a transformer. We do a tap inside the transformer, a whole other story. But pretty much residential use, keep those neutrals and grounds separated throughout, your house, because that creates potential. So, hopefully this helps some of you apprentices out there that are just getting into the trades and, having some questions about grounding panels and, trying to figure out things. So we'll talk to you later. Out.